Hey friends, welcome back for more Reddit stories. Today we have IDontWorkHereLady stories for you to enjoy. As usual, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's go. Assaulted, even though I don't work there. This is my encounter with an entitled crazy woman that thinks the world should always bow to her wishes. A little background. I am single, having never remarried after my wife passed away from a sudden and deadly illness, and since the pandemic hit, my grandmothers, who is in her 90s, and my cousin and her mother have been living with me. Never had any problems with them, and they do help around the house as they can and even pitch in on the bills from time to time, which I love about them. My cousin is a special needs boy and has a compromised immune system, as well as my grandma, being old, does not have as strong an immune system as she used to. As such, when I do have to go out, I take the precaution of taking a shower when I come home and put on a fresh set of clothing, taking care to not expose them to the worn set before I wash them. Necessary in my view with the pandemic going on. Normally I would order in whatever we need, but at the time this happened I could not. Something to do with the system going buggy or something. With that, let's get on with the story. This happened a little earlier today and I'm still fuming over it. Yes, I did press charges. Earlier today I decided to go shopping, even though some members of my household are high risk for the pandemic going on, but we still needed food and a few things for a special diet one of them had to eat. Into the store once I got there, grabbed the card and began to shop. I had been shopping for around 20 minutes when I heard someone snapping their fingers. I ignored it because I didn't work there and was wearing jeans and a black shirt with an insane clown pose on it. No way anyone could mistake me for an employee, or so I thought. Next thing I knew is someone yelled in my ear, "Are you going to help me or not?" I jumped, exclaiming loudly, "What the F?" When I got turned around, there was a Karen, short-haired, in clothes one size too small for her, large and with a sour look on her face. She shouted again, "Help me now or I'm getting you fired." I told her just as loudly, "I don't work here, lady. Now F off and go bother an actual employee." She stepped back, mouth agape like she had never been shouted back at in her entire life and wound up to slap me. I blocked her swing and said, "That's one." She tried to slap me again and I blocked it. "That's two. One more and I slap your back, bitch." She screamed, "I'm getting you fired," and stomped off. I yelled, "Don't let the doorknob hit you in your ass on the way out, bitch," as she left. I saw her shoulders jerk as if she had gotten hit in the back and kept going. I continued with my shopping, albeit angrily. I was done with people at the moment and wanted to finish and get back home. An employee approached me and asked what all the yelling was about, so I told her everything. I could tell she was smirking when I told her what I said as the crazy woman stomped off. So we chatted as I shopped and the employee's words were helping considerably to calm me down when we heard that nasty voice again. "That's him, the one who wouldn't help me and threatened me when I asked for his help. I want him fired right now." The manager looked confused. "Madam, he doesn't work here. I cannot fire customers." "Yes, he does," she yelled at him. "Fire him right now or I am filing a complaint with corporate." "You're certainly welcome to do that, madam, but he does not work here." She lost her crap then, her face went purple and charged at me and managed to slap me this time. I normally am opposed to hitting women, but out of pure defense instincts, I slapped her back hard enough to spin her around and knock her down. By this time, store security had arrived and restrained me, thinking I was the one to instigate the incident. The crazy woman got up off the floor and started screaming assault and demanding the police be called in. In the meantime, she tried several more times to get to me and slap me again and wound up being restrained herself. During this, the employee had been speaking to the manager over her yelling and told him what had actually happened and had heard her demands 2 aisles away and came to investigate. Apparently, she had managed to come into the aisle in time to see her try to slap me a second time and my warning to her. When the police arrived, she went off on a profanity-laced rant demanding I be fired and arrested and that she was going to be able to live off the suit she intended to file. The police walked me a few feet away while she ranted and raved and asked me what happened. So I told them and that the footage from the security cameras would provide proof of my side of the incident. So while one listened to her side of the story, one went and checked the recordings. They came back, one took out his cuffs while the crazy woman looked smug and said some rude things, but was shocked when officers told her to turn around and not to resist. They had to literally drag her out of the store, kicking and screaming all the way, threatening to have their jobs and screaming how she was the victim here, and more I cannot put here because of the language. I was asked a few minutes later by one of the officers if I would like to press charges, since from viewing the recordings it was obvious I was defending myself and did not use excessive force. Of course I said yes. I also found out later she has harassed other shoppers before but had never assaulted anyone before. So she is sitting in jail having not been able to bail out and her own family. A few who have contacted me and profusely apologized for her actions, which I told them not to worry about it. They're not being held to blame for her actions. And none of them are willing to pay her bills so she can get out and start her shenanigans again. I suspect there is more to it than that. But I do know she has been banned from the store now after that for life. I don't work here yet. A bit of background. I was working for an Australian internet phone provided in a complaints department in Australia. After a few years working in the call center, I saw an advertised role for a sales assistant and an assistant manager at a retail location close to home. I thought why not, so I applied for the sales assistant role and was called in for an interview. As I am waiting to be called in, I could just see a woman muttering angrily to herself waiting to be served. Insert cast of characters, me, owner, hiring manager, and crazy bitch lady. HR come out to me and says, "Thank you for your patience, we are ready for you to come through now." Crazy bitch lady starts screaming, "Are you effing serious? I've been waiting over an hour to be served. How dare you cut the line?" This is a lie. I always arrive half an hour early to any interview and I was there before her. HR, "I'm sorry madam, he's not a customer and he doesn't work here. He's here for an interview." Crazy lady, "I don't care. I want to speak to someone now or I'm going to start breaking things." HR was starting to search for available staff, but we're all serving someone. Me, "I'm sorry madam, I don't work here, but if you want, I'm more than happy to help. What seems to be the issue?" Insert crazy tirade about how a company is crooked and is stealing my money and cut my phone off, etc. Meanwhile, HR is just standing watching me. I asked HR, "Do you mind if I use a vacant PC to assist?" HR, "Haha, yeah, go for it." I proceed to log in as I already have a profile due to still being employed at call center. Turns out, crazy bitch lady has had overdue account and was not sent a bill due to moving and not updating her address, so her mobile was restricted until balance was paid. I assist her with taking payment, unbarring her account, all whilst keeping this, she banshee from screaming. After she starts to calm down, she begins chatting and laughing as I'm helping her. It took roughly 15 minutes, would have taken 5 if she didn't spend 10 minutes yelling first. She says, "Thanks, can I get your card so I can come see you next time?" Me, "Oh, I don't actually work here, I'm just here for an interview." She gives me a confused look, then turns to HR. "I would hire him if I were you." After she leaves, I went into the office to begin the interview and was told the interview was no longer required. I was hired on the spot for the assistant manager position. So, if you're out there, crazy bitch lady, thanks to you, not only did I get hired without an interview, I got the senior role I didn't even apply for. A bit of a twist. So, those are the stories for today's video. A thumbs up if you enjoyed it to support the channel, and I will see you in the next one.